You know that feeling when someone asks why you drive what you drive or ride what you ride, and the answer that comes out isn't really an answer. It's a shrug. I just like it. But that's not true, is it? Something decided for you, long before you ever turned that key. Car or motorcycle. It looks like a shopping decision. Budget, weather, commute distance, but it's not. It never was. Here's what nobody says out loud. The machine you choose is a mirror, and once you see what it's reflecting, you can't unsee it. This isn't about which one is faster or which one looks better in the driveway. This is about something underneath the price tag entirely. The part of you that decided, before logic got involved, whether you want the world touching you or held at a distance. So today, we're breaking down what actually separates a motorcycle person from a car person. Not the specs, the wiring underneath. And stick around, because by the end of this, you'll understand why some people quietly own both and never say a word about it. Why does a motorcycle demand every ounce of your attention the second you leave the driveway, if you're built a certain way? Here's what's happening under the surface. There's no windshield between you and the world, no climate control softening the air. Your body reads the road through your hands, your knees, the seat of your pants before your brain even finishes processing it. There is no room for anything else, not your inbox, not the argument from this morning, nothing. Psychologists call this state exposed cognition, a mental mode that only switches on when the body has zero insulation from consequence. Not fear, sharpened awareness. The mind doesn't get to drift because drifting gets you hurt. People drawn to this state tend to score high on something researchers call threat-calibrated attention, the ability to stay fully alert without tipping into panic, using danger itself as the thing that sharpens focus instead of scattering it. It's not recklessness, it's the opposite. It's needing exposure to feel real, needing the world to be close enough to touch. That's the motorcyclist's secret. It was never about the engine, it was about proof. Proof that you can stay calm when nothing is protecting you but your own skill. Notice what this actually requires. Total commitment to the moment you're in. You can't half lean into a turn. You can't half trust your front tire when the pavement shifts under you. Riders live inside decisions that don't allow hesitation, and over time, that rewires how they handle pressure everywhere else in life, too. Ask a rider how they handle a crisis at work. Chances are they go quiet, get precise, and move. That's not a coincidence, that's the road talking. Now flip it, because the car driver is running a completely different and arguably harder to notice psychological program. Ask a car person why they drive, and you'll rarely hear, for the danger. You'll hear something closer to, it's the only place I actually get to think. That's not a lesser answer, it's a different destination entirely. Where the motorcycle floods the nervous system with input, the car does the opposite. Doors closed, seat adjusted exactly the way you like it, temperature set, music at your volume. Researchers studying enclosed environments and decision-making found something cars structurally offer that motorcycles cannot. A private, controllable capsule where the outside world is present but held at arm's length. In plain terms, a moving room that's entirely yours. Car people aren't less alive behind the wheel, and it's worth killing that stereotype right here. They're running a nervous system that's optimized for control over environment, not control over exposure, for depth over intensity. Driving well through hours of monotonous highway, staying genuinely alert when nothing demands it, takes a discipline motorcycle riders often underestimate until they try it themselves. This is the part that gets missed constantly. Car culture built the modern idea of the road trick, the backseat full of kids, the drive-through at midnight, the just us and 400 miles feeling everyone borrows for movies and memories. That's car DNA. Respect where it's actually due. And here's something motorcyclists rarely admit. Staying sharp for 6 straight hours in a car when the road is straight, the scenery repeats, and your body has nothing forcing you to pay attention is its own kind of hard. Not reflexes, vigilance without a trigger. The ability to protect a family sleeping in the back seat mile after uneventful mile is arguably harder than staying present when the stakes announce themselves at every corner. Now, here's where it stops being theory and starts being someone's actual life. Let me make this real. Sarah was 36, a car person her whole adult life. Sedan, then SUV, always something with 4 doors and a warranty. She genuinely couldn't understand motorcycle people. Why choose the version with no doors, she used to say. Then her car broke down 2 weeks before payday, and her brother lent her his old scooter to get to work. She hated it the first morning. Wind in her ears, exposed at every red light, nowhere to hide from the weather. She almost called a cab instead and left the scooter parked for good. Then somewhere on the 3rd morning, stopped at a light with the sun coming up, she noticed she hadn't thought about her inbox once the entire ride. Her shoulders weren't near her ears anymore. She described it later as the first commute in years where her brain actually stopped narrating. She still drives her car every single day, that hasn't changed, but she kept the scooter for weekends now, and she stopped pretending one machine could give her both things. They were never competing for the same thing. This is where most videos like this one go wrong, so let's fix it. Motorcycle culture loves to paint car people as disconnected, and car culture loves to paint riders as reckless. Both are lazy takes, and both miss what's actually going on. A car isn't a machine for people who can't handle a motorcycle any more than a motorcycle is a toy for people who can't sit still in traffic. They're built for 2 entirely different nervous system needs, both legitimate, both demanding real skill in their own direction. Psychologists studying personal identity in material objects found that people don't just use vehicles, they extend their sense of self into them. That means the machine you chose isn't revealing a flaw or a superiority, it's revealing which version of in control actually feels like you. Think about what a car actually asks of its driver before you dismiss it. Managing 4 other lives inside the cabin, not just your own. Reading traffic patterns for miles while staying relaxed enough to hold a conversation at the same time. That's not the absence of skill. That's a completely different skill set built around responsibility instead of exposure. Here's something worth naming. For the rider, it's the moment the road opens up. Throttle rolling on, the wind finally matching your speed instead of fighting it, that half second is the entire reason you ride. For the driver, it's mile 200 on a night drive, radio low, everyone else asleep, the whole car quiet, except your own thoughts finally sorting themselves out. That stretch is the entire reason you drive. Neither moment is better. They're not even competing. One is a peak. The other is a plateau you get to live inside for hours. Chasing the wrong one in the wrong machine is exactly why people burn out on commutes or bikes they never should have chosen in the first place. It's also why so many people quietly own both. Here's what separates people who love the road from people who just own a vehicle. The ones who love it stopped asking which one is objectively better a long time ago. Your nervous system already knows what it needs. Some people need the world close enough to touch to feel like themselves. Some people need a controlled capsule to come back to themselves. Neither need is wrong, and neither one makes you more or less of a real driver. What the machine actually tells you is simpler than people want to admit. It tells you whether you find yourself through exposure or through enclosure, whether you feel most like you when the world is touching you, or when you've built 4 walls around your own thoughts and let the miles do the rest. This is why the which is better debate never actually ends. It's not a debate about vehicles, it's 2 different nervous systems arguing past each other, each one certain their version of freedom is the real one. Both are right. That's the part the comment section never wants to hear. So what does it actually say about you, car or motorcycle? It says you already know on some level what your mind needs to settle, whether you find that through the world pressing in close or the world held gently at a distance. Neither answer is the interesting part. The interesting part is that you never really chose. It picked you first. Next time someone asks why you drive what you drive, you don't owe them "I just like it" anymore. You know the real answer now. What's your ride telling you? Drop it in the comments. And if this hit close to home, subscribe. New videos every week.